Peace, everybody. You're tuned into the show that shares with you everything that you should do before saying I do. This is Before I Do, the show that covers everything for those of you who are dating, in a relationship, single, want to be married, don't know if you want to be married, tired of what's out here, don't know what's out here. We are here to help guide you through and to facilitate courageous conversations on dating and relationships.
That's right. And this show is meant to be interactive. I had to break it down, which means you saw what I did there. Yes. So, which means we expect to hear from you. So when we pose a question, let us hear your voice. Even if we don't pose a question, let us hear your voice. If you move by something, show us some love. If you want to hear us ring the bell, then do so. But we want to make sure that we're able to engage with you and interact with you. And I think tonight you're going to love our topic.
Listen, we're expecting you all to be all in the chat because once again, we are here as not only your facilitators, but we are students as well. And so we actually stumbled upon a topic in regards to dating that I had no idea. It makes so much sense, but it is something that we thought would be interesting to bring to you all. So you all know that we're at the end of another year.
Yes.
Thankful to God that he's brought us through. And we just want to encourage you that wherever you are in life right now, you made it to the end of another year. And that is a reason to celebrate. And
That's
so
right.
if you all joined us last week, you remember that we talked about some of the potential dating trends that were anticipated for 2023. Well, we wanted to take a step back and reflect on 2022. You can ring the bell for that.
I know.
We want to take a step back and reflect on 2022. And there is something that we found, a phenomenon that has been instituted, believe this year. And it is something that you've seen before. You see it in the news. You see it in music.
Yes.
We go through it on our jobs.
We do.
With your performance evaluation. And it is a year in review.
Year in review.
Yes.
And what are we reviewing at the end of this year?
So at the end of this year, there's actually something called a dating wrap-up or an end of the year dating review that has become very popular via social media. Okay. And so individuals have actually been requesting for the dating sites to share with them the statistics and the data from the individuals that they met and connected with throughout the year. And social media and these dating apps have been very slow and reluctant to do that for obvious reasons. Obviously, because if the numbers aren't favorable, then they may stop using that site. So what users have done in response is they have actually started posting and doing videos that give a synopsis of their dating experience throughout the year. And so everything from the how many first dates they went on, where they went, what kind of dating activity they did, how many dates on average that they went out with a particular person. And on one hand, I was like, this is absolutely fascinating that you could take something as intimate and personal as dating and make it so business-like, something that you would see at a board meeting or in a meeting with your colleagues. It was something so fascinating.
Now, this to me, when hearing about it, and Walter introduced this topic to me, I thought it was awesome because to me it really speaks to, and not that I'm trying to give one generation credit over the other,
right,
but it really does speak to the genius and really what millennials / Gen Zers value. They value data. They value concrete evidence on what did we say we were going to do and what did we actually do, right? And, and really they're big in fact checking, right? They want to make sure that what you are selling is actually what it is. So I like the idea of this, doing an end of the year review and trying to hold some of these dating apps accountable for what they say that they provide, which is to provide love or to provide, those connections. So I like that idea.
Yeah, but obviously on the surface, depending on where you stand, it could sound, wow, that's really great. That's really fascinating. And then on the other side, like you, because when I share with you, just so y'all know, the first thing, Charmaine was like, "Oh,
That's right.
You
I'm
know,
that auntie. No, we're not doing that. And if you're just tuning in with us, we're talking about dating
dating wrap
rap.
up.
That is putting
Yep.
your business out there. That is putting your analytics, your statistics. How many dates did you go on this year? How many first dates? How many fifth dates? Where did you go on these dates? What are your algorithms? What is your data? What is pretty much the full data report of your dating experience in 2022?
So for those of us who are so for those of you who are tuned in and hearing this for the first time, or if you have heard of it before, this leads right into our first question of the night. We need you to get in the chat.
Come on.
Let us know, what are your snap judgments about dating wrapped? What do you think about this whole concept of dating wrap up and giving the synopsis and recording a video? Have you seen one? The dating, just so you know, the hashtag.
Slow down, because see, that was the first time I think you said recording a video.
Yes, you're right.
And documentation
yes.
of all of that data.
Yes. So if you all will remember, we talked about, again, this information is being shared via video. So you are actually recording a video that is sharing how many first dates you went on, what kind of date what you did during the day, where did you go, and then how many average dates did you have with these individuals that you may have started with.
Who broke your heart? Who did you cry over? Who caused you to, who were you happy with? Who did you take serious? Who did you just use because you wanted
a meal?
Yeah. You sound a little salty.
Yeah, wanted a meal. That's just that's just some straight up foolishness.
That is sad. That some people do gotta go out on dates because they just they're using the person for a meal. Not cool. But it does happen.
So our speak now question number one. Once again, you're hearing about dating wrapped, especially for those of you that are hearing about it the first time. What are your snap judgments? What are you thinking? Have you seen a dating wrap video? Would you record and post one? Why or why not? So hit us up in the chat. We are going to take a quick commercial break and let y'all marinate on that for a second, and we'll be right back with more before I do.
Welcome to the Couples Academy app. The Couples Academy app is your go-to hub for how to do marriage right. Get started with our app today by perusing our amazing features that conveniently allow you to connect. This app is packed with powerful content and resources to help you grow and stay connected. With this app, you can watch our messages, find marriage resources, watch, listen, and read the real-life stories of restored couples, sign up for events, read articles and blog posts, stay up to date with push notifications, share your favorite messages via Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or email, and download messages for offline listening. For more information about the Couples Academy app, go to couplesacademy.org.
Welcome back to Before I Do, where tonight's topic is about dating wrapped 2022. And this is a topic that we came across and we think is really important to talk about because this is a popular trend. It is something that people are taking to social media. They're recording videos of themselves and they are reporting their public algorithms. They're publicly posting their data for the 2022 year. How many people did they date? What happened on those experiences? They're pretty much doing a full audit of their dating history for the year.
Absolutely. And what you mentioned actually leads right into Young God's question. He asked the question, I don't know if he or she or not. It says, why is this important? Part of the reason why is because this is a part of the new wave and is going to be an impact when it's going to make an impact when it comes to dating, how people are meeting and what they're doing with that information. And so it's very important for us to have these conversations again, to really understand some of the barriers, some of the benefits, some of the challenges, so we know exactly what is out there. So as we go through this, hopefully you all will be able to recognize the importance and some of the things that are a part of this whole idea of dating wrap.
All right. And we want you to definitely look it up.
Yes.
Look up some dating wrap videos and you decide. All right. And so we have a case against dating wrap.
Okay.
And so we want to put some things out there and things we want you to consider. But we do have some comments.
Yes, we do. Yeah. So Miss Audrey says that I have seen one. I believe it's intrusive when you're trying to get to know someone.
Well,
so you run the bell real fast.
I really
on that,
did, because the word intrusive just speaking to my spirit. See, I connect to that intrusiveness. So we do have people that are very private, people who really value that, right? And so in my case, in our case against dating Wrapped, this really concerns me. This pattern, this trend, the way we're moving, it really concerns me. So the case against dating Wrapped is as follows. Number one, are we listening? Please make sure we're listening. Pen and paper. Pretty much dating Wrapped, one, it provides a public account of your dating exploits. This concerns me in a world where, especially, it doesn't matter if you're a woman, a man, male, whatever, however you identify. It's one of those things that, do you really want to put all of your analytics out for public consumption?
Is that wise?
Is it wise? Is it safe, right? For people to know where you go, where you like to hang out on dates. What do you like to do? In a world where sometimes we want to authentically have a relationship and to build something with someone, if you're putting out the entire playbook of your exploits, your history, really, all I have to do is really watch all your videos on your feed, and I really can just chameleon my way into your life, shape shift who you want me to be for a good 6 months, and then slither right on out of your life. So I have concerns about that. You putting out your business for public consumption. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
All right. Number two, the case against dating Wrapped.
Yeah, you actually just alluded to it. So this whole idea of exposing your playbook, giving information that could potentially be used against you as it relates to some of your tendencies, some of the things that you prefer or not prefer. Miss Audrey did a great job of talking about as you're getting to know someone. It can be very intrusive. Absolutely. But again, remember, this is your information that you are publicly sharing and making available. And so there are some individuals that are professionals at being able to take someone's information, to do research, to get the background. And the bottom line is, a person can only learn about you as far as that information if you're putting it out into the digital space. Absolutely. And so exposing yourself as far as with some of your tendencies, again, there are some things in ways that it can be helpful. Absolutely. when you're checking out and investigating if it's someone that you would even want to get to know. Like, it's one thing to know that you like going to the zoo, and it's another thing to know that, hey, on first dates, I need to take her here because this is one of the things that may lead to getting, what I want out of this situation.
Or, okay, this person had 25 dates last year. You seem like, the old, I don't know, the elders might say, you seem like you a little, you a little
free.
Fast. You like to get around. Your body count is kind of up there, right? And so, but again, that's not something that people should judge. No, they should not judge you. But when you put your private, very private business out for public consumption, you open yourself up to criticisms and judgments, and you write an invitation for people to comment on your life. And I'm concerned about that because in this day and age, there are many people who really just can't handle people commenting on their personal life and exploits.
Absolutely. All right. So number 3, the last case against dating Wrapped, it can be self-deprecating and defeatist. So self-deprecating is being modest about or critical of oneself and tending to serve as disparaging or undervaluing yourself. Now, being a defeatist, that is a person who expects or is excessively ready to accept failure. I will say that again. A defeatist is a person who expects or is excessively ready to accept failure. We know that failure and challenges and risk-taking, those things are a part of life, but the attitude in which we approach those things is very important. And so when it comes to these videos, when it comes to analyzing the information, when it comes to dating, it's important not to utilize that and fall into a place where you begin to beat yourself up, where you begin to go into dating, as Charmaine mentioned, where it's like, well, dang, I had 25 dates and feeling bad about yourself, having a defeatist attitude, because those types of things begin to show up on the outside. Those types of things begin to show up in your behavior, and people can sense that, and you'll see that it will begin to affect the quality of your life and your relationships. So it's important to really have the right perspective if you're going to do these types of videos, but you have to be very careful, because again, when you're analyzing those numbers, when you're looking at, man, I went on 20 first dates and I only made it to 3 second dates, and it's the end of the year and none of these people are in my life right now. Imagine looking at that information, and then what do you do with it? Combined with the fact that we hadn't talked about this, that you're doing this at a time of the year that is usually high when it comes to mental health challenges anyway. When it comes to relationships, when it comes to individuals and family dynamics, the holidays can be one of the toughest seasons for individuals to really deal with some of their individual challenges. And videos like this can really complicate that even the more.
Again, you don't want to find yourself, you put this information out there. I mean, this would be, not that I'm trying to encourage it, but I do know some individuals in the comedy profession. They would take this video and really use it as content for their artistry or whatever. So again, if you put it out there, you have to be prepared. Hopefully you're confident. Hopefully you are healthy. Hopefully you are okay with however people view and or utilize what you put out there, because you definitely open yourself up. If it is done to, and you're like, look, this is for me, okay, that's fine. But when you make it public for everyone else to see, your public reflection, you just have to ask yourself, it's not about what, but it's the why. What's your why?
And you have to be ready for the ramifications that come along with that. When you put certain things out on the internet, when it comes to your social media, that is your news station. That is your channel. You can make it private, but the point is that even though it's for you, when I put that information out, what is it that I'm hoping to get from it? And am I okay with the result and the ramifications of putting some certain things of my life out in that particular way? All right. So Young God has a comment. Young God says, I honestly think people should be dating with a purpose and for positive outcome. Ring the bell. Yes. Absolutely. We agree as well. And so we believe that it is important to date with intention, to date with the end in mind. And that actually should feed into your evaluation and vetting process for even who you date. You shouldn't be dating everybody.
Absolutely.
So, this whole idea of just, again, this is us speaking of dating just to date. If you're going to do it, make sure that, again, you have the right mentality on when it comes to it just being something that is going to be leisurely for you.
Absolutely.
But again, if you're dating for companionship, if you're dating for marriage, you absolutely want to make sure that you're starting with the end in mind, making sure that you're dating with the right intention for the right reasons, and that your interest in someone is based on the right things.
To be honest, Young God, I love that you say that. And to me, there should be a vetting process. I'm big on old school. Like, to be honest, what I value conversation, I value interest. Really, do we need to go on a first date to do that? Like, so I'm a little old school. So for me, it's like, no, I want to have a couple of conversations with you before we actually spend kind of that time going out with each other or whatever, to just see that we're connected in the areas that, are valuable to him and myself. And so I think that's really, really powerful when you're talking about being intentional. And so I don't know, do I want to have gone out on 30 dates by the end of the year? Like, you might be able to weed some of that out, right? If you have a good vetting process.
Absolutely. For those of you who are just joining us, you're tuned into Before I Do Tonight. We're talking about dating wrapped, dating wrap up. Individuals are doing wrap up videos of their dating over the past year. And so we just went through the case against dating wrap up. There were 3 of them. So now we want to go into and ask you our Speak Now question of the night, number 2. When you think about your dating experience over the past year, what things stick out? What did you enjoy? what could have been better, because we also do believe that although putting that information out publicly may not necessarily be the best thing, it is important for you to actually analyze and think through what types of results you've been getting in your dating process, because that's going to help you to be informed as it relates to potential changes that you may need to make.
And Paul, so we want you to comment on that. Like, what are your thoughts? What stick out to you about your dating this past year? And even if you're in a relationship, you're married, hello, what thoughts stick out to you about your dating relationship? Because if you're married, you absolutely should be dating. What could have been better about the dating process, etc. And so with that, we're going to get personal. Mr. Jennings, all right. What's your reflection on the 2022 year and your dating experience? What things stick out? What things could have been better?
You know, this year when it comes to dating with you and I, so I'm really big on formal dates. Like I'm dress up, go somewhere, go to a restaurant, do something like intentional and formal. However, this year there were a lot of informal dates. There was a lot of like us just
spontaneous.
A lot of spontaneous, informal, us just having 2 and 3 hour long conversations, us just, getting together on the couch, watching a movie and then having a conversation and that leading into another movie or whatever.
Snuggling, spooning, scalp massages, just really getting that intimacy.
So
some
for
physical
me,
intimacy, intellectual intimacy, emotional intimacy, but spontaneous, impromptu, making our home space an area where we can just tune everything out.
Yeah. So for me, it was actually a mentality shift when it came to my approach to dating, and not having, again, to go on a formal date in order to get the most out of it, in order to enjoy you. We didn't need to spend a whole lot of money. We didn't need to plan. We didn't need to plan, to go out and do that. We could do
or dress up.
Or dress up. Well, don't ring the bell for that. I like to see you dress up. I like to see you dress up.
For the introverts, homebodies, that's me. That's work. That's work. Putting all of this together is some work. So I was really excited about some of our informal dates this year. Not having to dress up, but just, still getting those different multiple forms of intimacy accomplished.
Yeah. Young God has another comment. He says, I'm going to assume this. He says, some people don't know how to date, like asking the wrong questions and making it uncomfortable.
Oh my
absolutely.
Dating again.
That is absolutely true. And to be honest, there are certain people that they just have anxiety when it comes to dating. It doesn't necessarily come natural for everyone to just be quick and good with their words and know what to say. And I know, for example, with me, sometimes I can get in my head of being so concerned about saying the wrong thing. And guess what? You end up saying the wrong thing because you're so in your head and so worried about saying the wrong thing, not saying it the right way. And so it does take, though, some time and an ebb and a flow as far as that's why it's important to continue dating. But again, make sure you're being intentional in the process.
One thing I've learned, because I can have some of those social awkward moments with not knowing what to say, and then I get really quiet, and then that's weird. That's weird for people as well. So it's like, okay, I need to find something to say, but I don't know what to say. Just learn to just tell people straight out, look, it's uncomfortable for me, having these encounters, but I'm going to share a little bit, if you want to share a little bit about you, I'll share a little bit about myself, and just, I don't know. I just put it out there. Like, look, it can be awkward. Sometimes I cannot know what to say. And so in those moments, this is what I try to do. I just let them know, like, look, these are my awkward quirks, and this is what it is.
All right, you all. So again, you're tuning in. Before I do, once again, our Speak Now question number 2 is, when thinking about your dating experience over the past year, what things stick out? What did you enjoy? What could have been better? We are going to step back and take a really quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with some of the positives when it comes. Greetings, everyone. Welcome back to Before I Do. Tonight, we're talking about dating
Raps.
dating wrap-ups, giving a synopsis of your dating experience over 2022. Once again, our Speak Now question number 2. Share a little bit about your dating experience over the past year. Paul chimed in, and Paul says, I have been in a relationship with a woman that I met online. It's been a year and a half.
Yeah.
We saw us both go through bad times, and we got engaged and are still together so far.
I had to ring the bell again.
Congratulations, Paul. Listen, if you all are engaged, be sure to reach out to us for premarital counseling.
Yes.
That's what we do. That is our area
strong.
of expertise. You start. So make sure that you start with the end in mind, which is a success. So be sure that you reach out to us about premarital counseling with the Couples Academy.
Absolutely. So I love to hear that. And the fact that they have a lot of you guys have gone through what we call the 4 seasons, right?
Yeah.
Of the relationship, where we have those good times, we have some of those rough times, those you've gone through that season in this year and a half. And so very, very powerful.
Yeah.
And when you think about dating, so our Speak Now question was, what things could be better in 2022? We all need to reflect. We all need to ask ourselves, how did I show up, right? Was I my best self, right? Was I authentic? Was I genuine? Was I intentional? Did I really speak to the very things I want to gain and to get out of my dating relationship? And so one thing I like to challenge you all to do is, even going into 2023, or when you audit 2022, what did you want to gain? Was it a deeper level of emotional intimacy? Was it compatibility? Was it companionship? You absolutely will attract the very thing that you desire and you want if you speak it and put it out there in the atmosphere and you align yourself with that. However, if you don't operate with intention, a lot of times we're just seeing kind of a platter of options pass by us every day. And the person that stops and decides to say, hello, how you doing? Right? We find ourselves that, this must be karma. This must be, and it must be a connection. And sometimes it's just a random person that walked by to say hello. And you find yourself interacting with them. And so to me, being intentional is just making sure that you understand what it is that you want and or desire, so you can attract that. It's kind of that law of attraction.
You talked about intellectual a little earlier, and Audrey just said that, chimed in and says, I love the compromise. It's about the intellectual conversations for me. She's referring to our conversation in regards to what dating looked like us this past year. And Young God says, I'm a man and married, 37 years old, 4 children. I've been off the market for a while now. Excellent. Well,
but you're still dating.
Still need to be dating.
All right. So what are those dating goals, right, for 2023? And how was your dating life in 2022? Yep. Sometimes when you have several children, the children definitely, they will put their needs, wants, desires, and demands out there. And so when you're wearing those parenting hats, sometimes it can be a challenge to tell the children, like, okay, all right, I know I'm your mama and I know I'm your daddy, but right now, I'm her man, her boyfriend, and right now she my girlfriend. And y'all need to move to the side because it's about us right now.
Yeah.
Right. And so we want to make sure that we have those healthy dating patterns.
Yeah. And speaking of dating goals, we're going to get back to this list of when it comes to dating rap. We talked about some of the cases against dating rap, but there are some good things that could potentially come out of utilizing dating rap when done the right way. Again, why people do dating rap. And so one of the cases for dating rap is that it allows you to be reflective and strategic with your dating experience.
Absolutely.
When you're taking, again, your dating experience throughout the year, and you're analyzing how many first dates did I go on? Where did we go? What did we do? How many of those first dates led to second dates, third dates? What were some of the commonalities of the individuals that ended up getting a third or a fourth date? Did I sleep with any of them? Was it on the first date, the third date, the fourth date? So when you have all that information, it allows you to really be reflective and strategic when it comes to your actions, how you move, and what are some of the things that you prefer. So it's really important, again, as it relates to the individuals that are really for Dating Wrapped, that you are intentional when it comes to how you utilize that information.
That's right. And just a second idea for Dating Wrap, something that I really, really love. All right. Our second idea for that, it goes back to, you know what? It's an opportunity to create a support system. And so if you're a private person like me, for example, I don't know that I would do a video and put it out there publicly and put all of my business out there regarding how many people I dated for the year, and all of that data. I would not share my analytics like that. I just, again, I wouldn't put myself out like that. However, it can serve as a great opportunity for you to get your village. Who are your people who love and care about you? Create a small circle, plan an event, share your dating wrap with them, make it an intimate circle, group of people who they're going to speak life into you. They're going to encourage you. They're going to advise you. They are your village of people who really want you to win. And these are going to be the individuals that support the very thing that you say you want and or desire. And they're going to tell you the truth. They're going to tell you the truth about whether you're on track or you're not on track, right? If you're saying, well, why do guys seem to only be interested in my body, or why I'm noticing this pattern or this trend. And they might say, well, have you audited your profile? Because it's pretty steamy. It's pretty sexy. Like if you don't want to attract people that are all into your body, then, maybe you adjust your profile a little bit, or you're going to have this circle of people that's really going to help to celebrate you and be on your team.
Yeah. And so it is important, again, to have some individuals that are going to hold you accountable.
Absolutely.
For the information that you've gathered as it relates to your dating experience, and not just internalizing that and becoming your own therapist for that. You need individuals that you can bounce that information off of, because again, you're in a relationship with yourself, but you're not just dating yourself. And so it's important to have individuals that you trust that are really going to be able to give you good, positive insight when it comes to some of the things that you've experienced. All right, case number 3 for Dating Wrapped is that it increases digital competency and presentation skills. Now, I know y'all like, what does this have to do with dating? It has nothing to do with dating. But what it does do is that for a lot of millennials and Gen Zers and individuals who, when it comes to getting into the business world, they can become very intimidated when it comes to public presentations, speaking in front of people. But when you're making these videos, when you're taking the time to listen, if you all have not been to hashtag Dating Wrapped, they doing pie charts, bar graph. It is, you literally feel like you are at an online end of the year business review when you watch these. And those skills are transferable. If you can do it for Dating Wrapped, you can do it when it comes to your job. You can do those same things, and being able to take that data and transpose it into ways that can be really beneficial when it comes to your job and other areas of your life. Absolutely. So it doesn't have to be wasted, and it doesn't have to be specifically just geared towards your dating information.
And again, if you're not convinced, we don't know if you're on the case for Dating Wrapped or the case against Dating Wrapped. But one thing we do know is check it out.
Yes.
See what it's all about. And we really encourage you to ask yourself, is this something that you would do? Is this something that you would encourage your friend to do? Is this something that you would be okay with your 20-year-old child doing, right? Would you encourage them to do that? Because again, as an educator, I'm sorry, it's interesting when children will come to school and say, hey, I saw your mama on TV or on Maury Povich, or I saw this and that, and you'll be amazed at how this information is always out there. So again, whatever you put out for public consumption, you have to definitely be healthy, because there are some very unhealthy people out there, and they will use your information the way that they choose to. And so we just want to make sure that you're healthy, you're happy. And if you choose to go with this Dating Wrapped trend, that you are fully aware and you have thought full circle about the benefits and the barriers. So Again, that's a case for and a case against.
Absolutely.
Dating wrap.
So a couple of our recommendations. So
Mhm.
we've shared with you the case for and the case against. These are our recommendations. Number one, you should absolutely document your experience. However, we don't feel it's necessary to share them, at least not all the details.
No.
So just like Charmaine was, but you don't need to put your whole playbook out for everybody to see. But it is absolutely important for you to take the time to really sit down and think through strategically exactly how you have experienced dating throughout the year, and are you getting the result out of your dating experience that you want? And if not, what changes do you need to make in regard to that?
Yes. Number two, remember, get your small group of people who love, care about you, and they're going to tell you the truth, whether you want to hear it or not. Those are the people who love you, and we want to make sure that those are the individuals who you have as a part of your team.
Absolutely. And our last recommendation, use whatever results you notice to understand yourself better and to inform your dating choices. None of the information that you find should go to waste. And once again, it should not be used for you to beat yourself up, for you to avoid and to run away from and to avoid dating if you want to be in a relationship, but utilize the information that you find in a way to grow and really inform yourself as it relates to what you want to get out of dating.
Personal growth and development is key. And so we definitely appreciate you guys tuning in. Dating Wrapped 2022. Check out a video. See what this trend is about. Are you for it? Are you against it? What is your advice? And yeah, it was insightful for us.
Yeah. We are your Couples Academy practitioners. Be sure to look us up on couplesacademy.com. Book us for a session, both one-on-one individual sessions. I am proud to do one-on-one sessions with men. Charmaine does one-on-one with women, and we also do couples counseling as well. And again, for, I believe it was Paul, don't forget that we do provide premarital counseling as well. My name is Walter Jennings.
My name is Charmaine Jennings.
This has been Before I Do. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and we'll see y'all next week. Peace, y'all.